what? Bomb, Gregor? Alright, we're back live here. Let's see who pops in here. See if that comes up. Come on.
Now he's down in South Jersey haze. That ugly truck still pulls its weight. Rusted, rumbled soul and scars. Chasing skip beneath the stars.
Alright, just trying to get you guys. Dirty Bird, you're back in here. Greg, back again. See ya, thank you. Let's see what we got. One Facebook, one YouTube, 4 YouTubes. Alright, we're running. Sorry, man. It's been a minute since I did this. I think I'm going to stay with Prism. Tried a couple of different platforms. I really had a hard time with them, but this one seems to be pretty friendly. I just haven't used it for a minute. So, you all want to bear with me. On Facebook, I actually posted a really strange picture of myself, and I was looking at something. And what I was looking at is something that you don't do, I hadn't done in a long, long time. A lot of people asked, and I said flat out, no, I'm not going to do it. So, let's take a look at what we're talking about. This chassis is, it's got two 6-gauge wires on it, so it tells you a pretty good size amp. There's a filter lid, 120 millimeter fan, and slew cord keeper, remote jack, on-off switch in the front, and I have not put the South Jersey decal on it. What did I make that everybody wanted to see and run? And it's like, I want a 6-pill. Well, I built one. Here's 6-pill. And they are on the list. As you guys seen them on the price list. Here's the $28.79 standards. With six $28.79 standards in here. And this is how the box is going to be built and sold. This is number 1 on the South Jersey line. So I'll be getting my stickers really soon. So in the meantime, between time, let's take and go over this thing and light it up. So I'm gonna just go ahead and toss the lid on it so you can just do our testing. All right, so like I said, a lot of people had asked me over the years, hey man, build a 6-pill, do a 6-pill. Here's the pros and the cons to it. The pros are they run like a freaking 8-pill almost. They're monsters. The cons are, it's a high Q amplifier, meaning they're very, very temperamental. And I say that kind of loosely. They are temperamental, very temperamental. Why do I say that? Is it's built in a 2-pill stage, so there's not a lot of protection. There's only 2 wraps on the output transformers, and that's what you would call a higher Q amplifier. So you don't need as much drive to get them to go, and they really take off. The voltage range on the 2879s are, yeah, you should run them at 12 volts. No, you can run them at 14, you can run them at 15, you can run them at 16, you can run them at 17 volts. But if you're talking to do long duration and talking skip a lot, I highly suggest you'd probably drop a little bit down on your drive level, and you can leave your voltage where it's at. So if you have a power supply that's hanging out at 15.5, 15.6, 15.8, 15.9, even 16, you're going to be okay as long as what? You don't have a lot of standing wave, hopefully none. You have your coax hooked up properly and cut to the proper phase angles, then you use a proper drive amount and don't overdrive it. Just like anything, you overdo something, you're just going to wear it down and going to tear it up. So, the guys that always run around and like to say, you can't put any volts on these transistors, they're no good. No. You don't know what you're talking about, and that's the problem. So, maybe some of these videos I do will help you guys understand a little bit. So let's turn on the power supply. And we will switch voltages up to this one eventually. But for now, we're going to take and we're going to run this. So, let's look at a drive level. I'm going to be looking at a 250 watt input slug, 25 watt input reflex slug, 1000 watt slug, and 5000 watt slug on the analogs, 2500 and 5000 on the digital Dave. All right, so let's get into drive level. This is a drive, so let's take a look. All right, this is a drive where we're going to start out at audio, about 50-55 watts of drive. So there we go, 50-55 watts of drive. Let's see where we're at. thing from my mic cord. All right, here we go. Audio, 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 audio. All right, so we're hanging right at 55 watts. Input reflect, 25 watt slug. Each line's a half a watt. Audio, 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 audio. So we're right at about 3 watts, somewhere right in there. Let's look at the 1000 watt analog. Remember, this is about 50-55 watts of drive. Audio, 6 pills. Audio, 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 audio. So yeah, I'm doing right at 500 watts with 50 watts. Well, that's what the 1000 says. Let's look at the digital. And we are looking at that scale. Audio, audio, audio. All right, 550. Let's look at the 5 kilowatt up here. Audio, 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 audio. Same thing, 550. Let's look at a peaker tweaker. Tweaker and a peaker. Audio, tweaker, 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 tweaker. That is about 1400. Let's look at it here. And peaker, tweaker, peaker, tweaker, peaker, tweaker. 1450. So, that was 50 watts of drive. Now, all you guys want to pay attention to is a lot of people want to take and pay attention to what? The peaker tweaker watts. Guess what? If that were the case, go ahead and shut it off now and forget that I made the video, because it's going to be almost the same really quick. It's not going to increase much. The RMS is going to increase, but the peak will not. You can take and buy into the super groove of what some of these other folks are trying to take and demonstrate, and all they do is show as peak. Man, y'all, I'm telling you, don't buy into that peaker tweaker stuff. Just don't do it, because here, look, here's your 50 watts. All right, let me bring this up a bit. What's up, James? How are you? Oh, my good fellas right there. James Gold. 66 in Central New York. Audio, 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 audio. There's your 50-55 watts. Now here's your peak. Let's just focus on this meter here. All right, here's your RMS. RMS audio 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, really cool. It's hanging around 550, 600, somewhere in there. And here's your peaker tweaker watts. Audio 1 2 3 4 5. So 1450. Now we established that. Now what's going to happen when I turn up my drive? The peak will not increase very much. The only way you're going to be able to make that peak increase is how? You put more volts on it. You put a bigger power supply. It has a little bit more volts on it. Because if you're down here at 14.8, 14.9, here's your amperage. Since I have the amperage on this audio, this is both of them. Here, let me do that right quick. All right, here's your amperage on this 50. Audio, 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 audio. 71 amps, all right? And this is the voltage. Audio, 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 and that's with the Texas Star tied into that. But your peak, audio, peaker, tweaker, tweaker, peaker, 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 tweak. 1450. That is only going to increase minutely when I increase my drive. What am I going to do to my drive? Well, let's go wide open. How's that? I got to adjust the dead key, so I'm just going to drop it down. I'm going to drop it down a lot more. Okay, she's pretty happy. All right, now let's look at the drive. Audio, 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 audio. There is 90 watts of drive, input reflection. Audio, 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 audio. That increased a little bit, about half a watt. So I'm about 3.5 now. Here's your 1000 RMS analog. Audio, 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 audio. So now we're hitting almost 800 RMS. Let's look at the 5 kilowatt. Audio, 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 RMS really increased. Let's look at the peak up here on the analog. Audio, audio, peaker, tweaker, it did not increase very much, only about 50 watts. Here, let's do it all digital for you. Digital, audio, audio, RMS, audio, audio, audio. 800 watts with 80 going into it. I said it's pretty spot on. Here's your peaker, tweaker, tweaker, peaker. I only increased 100 watts. Audio, peaker, tweaker, tweaker, tweaker. Now watch. I'll take it, I'll put it back down here. Audio, 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 audio. Close. Audio, audio, audio. Come on, man. I'm giving you the peaker, tweaker lowdown right there. This is what the guys are doing, where they can take and say, look at this amplifier. It's doing this many watts. No, it's not. It's not. It's doing that peak. But the RMS is not. RMS is where it's supposed to be. Because if you look at drive levels, wide open again. All right, drive level. Audio, audio. Let's bring that up. Audio. 90. All right, 90 watts. 90 watts gives you audio. Amperage. Audio. That's 99 amps. This is with the Texas Star. Audio. 110, 109. So, for the guys that really like and love six pills, I'm offering them to you. This is your chance. You can get them. Now I'm going to change voltages. We're going to change voltage on this now. But if you guys want to get a nice little amp, actually offering free shipping until September 15th. So there's an opportunity right there to save a little bit on top of a hugely discounted price sheet that I've offered on this line. And I'm going to try to hold those numbers as long as I can, guys. So you have to understand, the world is not cheap right now, especially these damn parts and trying to get them through customs and everywhere. Yeah, anywhere you go, anything that has to pass the border, you're paying out the pocket, and just keeps running the price up. So this is tough. And it's not just in the amplifier business. You go to Walmart, Target, anywhere, gas station, it's all just trickling down on us. And that's all there is to it. All right, so moving forward, we're going to leave the drive right where it's at. We're going to go up here to this voltage right here. And let's take a look at the voltage. Audio. All right, there's 15.6. Here's your amperage. Audio. 106, 107. See this amperage. Audio. Pretty close. All right. Go right to it. RMS. Analog. Audio. About 950. RMS digital. Audio. 9950. All right, Peeker Tweaker. Did we increase? Peeker Tweaker. Yes, we did. Audio. 6 pills. Audio. So, again, come back and back this deck down somewhere right around 50. Audio. There's where we started at. Let's see what the peak is. Audio. 1600, and in my drive, I have more voltage. Audio. 1750. I gained 150 watts peak, and I did increase in my RMS as well. It did follow, but a lot of people over the years, they said, man, you don't even run a peak meter, this and that. Well, now I'm drilling it down your throat because you all asked about it, and I'm giving it to you. So I'm going to drill it down your throats and say, hey, listen, here's your peak, and it's great for design. It's not something that, honestly, you need to sit there and stare at and look at every day unless you really are trying to make yourself feel good about the little bit of equipment that you have that might be making 1,000 or 2,000 watts. But if you go to RMS or average, you're going to simply cry because your performance is not right, because the guy that built your box didn't explain what I just explained to you. So it's just kind of a slap in the face to a lot of builders out there, so-called builders, self-proclaimed builders, that if you're not showing your amperage, what else we got here? All right, of amperages, voltage here, voltage there. If you're not showing that stuff, you're hiding. You're hiding behind things because you're not showing your RMS. You're not showing, you may show your drive. Are you showing your input reflection? Are you showing your RMS? Or are you only showing peak? That's what a problem I have with a lot of videos I see. In fact, some of the videos that people send me, I watch them and I swear I lose brain cells after viewing what I just watched. I'm trying to make heads or tails out of it. But with that said, everybody for a long time asked me, why don't you do a 6-pill? Why don't you do a 6-pill? Well, here's my disclaimer. If you treat them wrong, they're going to cost you a lot of money to fix. Like every pill, every time you break it. So, if you understand how a 6 works and you run it properly, it'll last you a lifetime just like any other box. I had boxes out there, 6 pills, and guys never ever broke them because they ran them right. But if you don't know about anything about jumper length, which I said it, let's talk about it. Half a wavelength from the radio to my driver. Half a wavelength of coax. Now, from here, my driver, to the 6, I'm running another additional half a wavelength of coax. You can pick any type of coax you want, as long as it's cut the frequency to a half a wavelength electrically. Then that's the feed for this. It's not going to be a 3 or a 6 or a 9 or a 12 or 24 or 36, 42, whatever. This is what it wants. You can experiment with your own combinations, but use your birds, because the LP100s, they don't show you shit. They show you your watts, they show you your peak, they show you average. They won't show you a bird going backwards. They won't show you that your input is high. It won't show you that your reflectives is going nuts on your antenna for the most part. I get it. People like to sometimes look at analog stuff, like the guys that have a watch and they have hands on the watch. That's analog. Some guys like Casio digital watch. It's all cool. But at the end of it all, here is a 6 with 2879 standards. And I'm eventually going to add the 2879Cs to the Mowatts Mozilla line, actually being on the Mozilla line. And then that'll allow the guys that have those amplifiers, and they want those Cs, they can get them in Cs. But the South Jersey line is only 2879s, 2290s, 454s at this point. I haven't jumped down the rabbit hole of 1446s just yet. It's something I'll look into here in the near future. So there you have it. This is what we had going on right here, right now with this 6 transistor units. That's why I put such a crazy picture up there on Facebook, because this is something that I hadn't did in a long time. And it's not that I couldn't do it. It was actually trying to help you guys take and make a bad decision, because you could get a 6 or you could get an 8. Well, you could run a 6 really hard to make it run like an 8, or you can take an 8 and run it soft and make it run like a 6. Sensibly, that'd be the best way to go, because then you could grow into the 8. So Molly, what you think, man? You weren't feeling good today. You're laying around, so was I. Come here. Come on over here. You want to say hi, everybody? Say hi. Molly, you gonna wave? Give me a wave. What's up? What you got on you? Get the wire on you. Come on, you say hello. Hi. Molly, you gonna say hi? Yes. What's up? Your hair's growing back. Kind of scruffy looking, man. I gotta get you cleaned up. So, you going to North Carolina? You ready? You ready to go? Yeah, we're going to get in the truck. We're going to grab Leadfoot. We're going to stop and pick him up. And then we're going to run down there and we're going to hang out with Scooter and Criddle. And then we're going to go to North Carolina. You want to go to North? You are ready to go, aren't you? You think so? Molly, you going to wave to everybody? Give me a wave. That's a good girl. What do I got? I got cookies up here. Look at that. You want that cookie? Here you go. There you go. All right, man. So I have to do a little shout out to my friend 24/7 out of the mini grass. Hooked me up with some pill clock. He hooked me up with a pill clock, South Jersey 123, and a Psycho Zip 123 built pill from the guy out of Florida. I think he's making them. They were drop shipped out of Florida, but at the end of the way, Steve, thank you very much. Very generous gift. Very cool. Obviously, I put my my little trophies up here. Everything you guys see up here, except for the tubes and things over there, well, yeah, someone had given me. Actually, some of those tubes and vacuum tuners and stuff. This is actually JB Stone, Bluegill, gave me this, a huge vacuum tuner that arced out. And he was going to scrap it for the copper. And I was like, no, I want that. Bill Curd made the lamp, but I stole it and put it on a Jack Daniels thing. Billy Brock sent this out to me. Willie 111 out of Louisiana sent that to me. Other things, they just gathered over the years. Jim 66 out of New York sent me that. This has got stuff, man. What else we got here? This one came from Maui, Hawaii, from Damien over there. I'm pulling a blank, but Damien over in Maui, he hooked me up with the Cheech and Chong 50th ashtray. Really cool. But hey guys, listen, this is just a demonstration. I wanted to show you kind of how a 6-pill is running with about 100 watts of drive. I wouldn't highly suggest to go too much over that. It's really not necessary. We were at, let's take a peek. Turn this on. Audio. So we'll call it 95 watts. Now let's take a look. So we'll take 95 and we'll divide that 6 times. And I was only at 15.833 watts per transistor. So if you really wanted to break that down now, divide that 4 times, because there's 4 chips in each transistor. And that means each chip saw 3.95832 watts per transistor. So almost 4 watts per chip. And the chips that I'm talking about is inside of the device itself. There's 6 of them here because it was a C. There's only 4 of them in the 2879 standards. So there is a little headroom in here. Just the best suggestion, keep your stuff under 100 watts or do the math. Do the math on your drive. It's not hard. Just take and say, hey, my driver's putting out this much RMS on a trusted bird meter. Take that number and say, hey man, I got 100 watts and I'm dividing that into 6. That's 16.66 watts per transistor is what you're seeing. So you're good to 100. Let's look at another one. Let's see 120 looks like. 120, just in case your meter's a little off, divide that into 6. Now you're at 20 watts transistor. Now you're starting to push it into the, I'm gonna break this stuff. So if your meter's off by 20, you could have a problem if you have standing wave or the wrong coax jumper in between. But any way you cut it, listen guys, this stuff isn't rocket science. It's not hard. I'm not arrogant about it. I'm just trying to state just regular statements saying that this is the best way that you could run your stuff. And the combinations, you can take 22290s, 2454s, be a great driver for this thing. Same thing for an 8. And remember, on those 454s and 2290s, you got a potentiometer. You can back it up or down. As far as export radio goes, going right into this thing, great. Probably work perfect. A Striker or anything dual final radio probably work really good as the driver for this. You probably won't see but 50 watts, so that's why I showed you approximately 50 watts on the input drive level on where you would be. You're going to still hit 1450 peak if you're loving that, but I'm not so keen on the 550 RMS. That's a little light for me. But any way you want to cut it, y'all wanted a 6 bill, I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to give it to you with some instruction. So not just Burger King, it's your way right away, no problem, get your money and never talk to you again, or I ain't going to answer the phone because you bought a 6 bill and I told you so. No, you buy this and you call me and you tell me you broke it up, I'm going to say, how'd you do that? I don't know. There you go, you didn't learn a thing. So that's my disclaimer, man. I just got to stick with it. Yeah, other than that, not a whole lot happening, man. Just boxes sitting around doing this and that. I'm bringing whatever I have as far as the DC equipment goes, the amplifiers, the drivers I build. I'm bringing that down to North Carolina, so if somebody wants to pick one up right off me, whatever I have, first come, first serve, you'll be able to get it and go from there. Other than that, we are at 15.56 volts or so. We're gonna run this thing up. This is as far as that's gonna go. And this is off. Now it's on. And now let's look at the drive. Audio, drive level, audio. Bring that up a bit. Input reflect audio, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 2.5 3. Here's your voltage, audio. 15.6. Here's your amperage. I'll show it right here. Audio. 103, 105. End up picker, tweaker, picker, tweaker. Audio 1 2. 1750 to 1800, and then your RMS. Audio 6 pills. Audio. She's getting it, man. She's getting it. Audio. So nice little box. Here's your RMS on a 5 kilowatt slug. Audio 1 2. Not bad out of a 6 bill. Kind of like it runs like an 8. Like I said, a soft 8. So Molly and me are getting ready to slide out of here, aren't we, Molly? What you doing? Come here. Come on. Let's say goodbye to everybody. Come here, Molly. Come here. How's the cookie? Was the cookie good, Molly? Was it good? Your nose is messed up. We got to fix your face. Hi. Molly. You gonna wave? Give me a wave. Give me a high five. All right. You're a good girl. So, you ready? You ready to go to Carolinas? You gonna do it? You gonna hang out? You gonna hang out with everybody? Yeah? Should I bring your goat belt? Should I bring your trophy for your neck? Should I take it off the wall and hang it around you and let you wear it all weekend? Nah, you don't want to look around. You don't want to look like Mrs. T? No? Molly, you ready? You want to go bye-bye? You want to go to North Carolina? Say, see ya. All right, you're a good girl. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out. This one does not have logos on them. I'm waiting on that stuff. I will get it when I probably get down to North Carolina and get stickers for this one. But that said, there you go. Price lists are listed. I posted them up with my funny face on Facebook, and I haven't did that on YouTube, but I will soon. Anyhow, there you go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a 6-fill 2879 standard box, and this is the South Jersey line. So there you have it. Again, thank you to my friend Steve out in Maui. James for, man, he sends all my feeds to a bunch of different groups in James Gold, 66, Central New York. Thank you very much, man. You are a great friend and to help me spread the word of what I do in love. All right, Molly, say bye-bye. We're out of here. Y'all take care. God bless. I'm rolling to the left. I'm out of here.